I opened Reddit and clicked, forgot password. I typed in my wife Natalie's email, the one I knew like the back of my hand, since we use it for everything from Netflix to our mortgage account. A second later, Reddit replied, an email associated with an active account has been found. Reset instructions have been sent. And that is how my story begins. Welcome to Ready Stories. Don't forget to follow the channel so you don't miss what happens next. My name is Adam. I'm 34 years old, a software engineer living in a peaceful suburb of Seattle. My wife, Natalie, is 32, working in HR at a tech company. We met nearly 8 years ago at a soft skills seminar. She was the first woman to walk up and start talking to me while I was awkwardly standing by the coffee table, not sure how to start networking. Natalie had this kind of energy that made people naturally drawn to her, a quiet confidence, the kind that knows exactly when to speak and when to smile. I was the opposite, shy, introverted, always overthinking things. But maybe that contrast is what pulled us together. 3 years later, we got married. Life was great at first. We rented a small apartment and later bought our dream home after I got promoted. Natalie always supported my choices, and I supported hers. No huge fights, no one sleeping on the couch, no one storming out of the house. Life was stable, maybe too stable, so much so that I didn't realize I was starting to go blind to what was right in front of me. I can't point to the exact moment things started to change. It came from little things. One morning, I brought her coffee in bed like I always did. But Natalie didn't even look at the cup. She was just scrolling on her phone, frowning. What's wrong? I asked gently. Oh, nothing. Just reading some dumb post online, she said. I nodded and didn't think much of it. But then the next time, I told her a funny story about how my boss kept calling me Alan in a meeting. Normally she'd laugh and tease me for a week. This time, she just gave a weak smile and went back to staring at her phone. She was texting more, a lot more. I noticed it clearly. And when I talked, her eyes weren't on me like they used to be. But what was I supposed to ask? Everything still seemed fine. We weren't fighting. We weren't distant in any obvious way. Just a quiet kind of drift, a slow, creeping space growing between us, like a hairline cracking glass, not broken yet, but stretching silently wider every day. That night, Natalie went to bed early. She said she was tired from a weekend meeting. Some new company project was putting her under pressure. I stayed up in my home office, working on some freelance code. Then I opened a new browser tab to look up a plugin bug I'd been meaning to fix. And that's when Google auto-filled a search suggestion: how to delete Reddit post history without deleting account. I squinted. I hadn't typed that. No one else used my laptop but Natalie. Then it hit me. Last week, she borrowed it when her battery died. I didn't think much of it at the time. We're married. What's mine is hers, right? I didn't question it then. Maybe it was just some random thing she looked up. But something in my gut started to twist. I'm not the jealous type, but I'm a man who trusts his instincts, and mine rarely fail me. I sat still, staring at the screen. My hands weren't typing, but my mind was racing. Reddit. Natalie always said she didn't get platforms like Reddit. Called it a nerd forum and said she preferred Instagram and Facebook, places where you could post photos, interact with friends. But if she really had a Reddit account and she was looking to delete her post history, then what the hell had she been posting? The question hit me like a splash of cold water. So I opened Reddit and clicked forgot password, typed in her email, the one we share for all our streaming accounts. A second later, Reddit replied, email found. Password reset instructions have been sent. I stared at the inbox on my phone. I knew her email password. Not because I spied, but because she once asked me to fix her Gmail when she was locked out. She literally handed it to me. I sat there, frozen. Should I go in? A part of me felt guilty. But that chilling feeling at the base of my spine, it was stronger. I clicked the link, reset the password, and logged in. And then I froze. Her account name was Natalie, Wild Blueberry 22. She once told me if we ever had a daughter, she'd name her blue because she loved the softness and clarity of that color. I clicked on her post history. My heart felt like it clenched into a fist. The first post was from 6 months ago in a subreddit called r/true off my chest, a place where people vent things they can't say out loud. I love my husband, but sometimes I wish I never married him. I feel suffocated. Another post. Has anyone ever just wanted to be touched by someone else, just to feel desirable again? I read every word, every line. She didn't use my name, but everything she described, the personality, the job, even a mole under my left eye, that was me. I didn't sleep that night. I kept scrolling, reading. She talked about an old friend from college, a name I'd never heard in my life. She wrote that she had crossed a line during a work trip to Chicago, that she cried all night afterward but couldn't tell her husband he's too sensitive. Natalie confessed everything, not to me, but to hundreds of strangers on Reddit. The next morning, she got up like normal, kissed my cheek, and said, "I'll be home early today. Just a quick meeting this morning." I nodded. I watched her slip on that beige dress, the one she only wore when it was something special. And I wondered, was it really a meeting or a date? But I didn't ask. I didn't want to ruin the show she was putting on. Not yet. I needed time. I needed to know more, because now I was certain she had a second life, a second self, living behind a screen. And I, the husband who trusted her, was nothing more than an accidental spectator in that hidden story. She said I was paranoid, but now I know I wasn't imagining it. I'm no longer the narrator of my own life, but I'm taking the pen back, starting now. Welcome to the Reddit Stories channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss part 2.